Hello friends, this video on capacitors and capacitance part 19 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 18 before going ahead with part 19. Now we will talk about energy stored in a capacitor. We have already seen that capacitor stores charges. So what do you think, will the capacitor store some energy as well? Think it in this way. From where is the charges coming to the capacitor? It is coming from some source which we are considering in most of the cases now as battery. So let us suppose there is a battery which is supplying charges to the capacitor. To the first plate of the capacitor, some positive charges are coming, right? And then the negative charges are getting induced on the other plate of the capacitor. So imagine the situation like this, that the battery is doing nothing but taking some electrons from the first plate and giving them to the second plate, and that is how the second plate is getting induced with negative charges. So that means the battery is doing some work to transfer this negative charges or transfer these electrons from the first plate to the second plate, right? Or we can say it in this way, that there is some work done in pulling positive charges from the second plate to the third plate, second plate to the first plate. I mean, both are the same things, right? Taking positive charges from the first plate and giving it to the second plate, or taking negative charges from the second plate and giving it to the first plate. Both are the same things, correct? So this work done is basically stored as electrostatic energy in case of a capacitor. So the work done in transferring charge from negative towards positive plate is stored as electrostatic energy in capacitor. So when I talk about transferring charge from the positive plate to the negative plate, we are transferring electrons. When I talk about transferring positive charge, then we are transferring it from the negative plate to the positive plate. So let us take help of the diagram so that it becomes easier for you to understand. This is your capacitor, the two plates of the capacitor, and this was the electric field established between them. Now when I talk about a battery source which is supplying electrons, let us suppose this is my positive plate and this is my negative plate, right? So electrons, some work is done to take electrons from this positive plate and send it there. Since electrons are coming to this plate, that is why this plate is getting negatively charged. So there is some work done in bringing electrons from positive plate to negative plate. So electrons from positive plate to negative plate, or in other words we can say to bring positive charges from negative plate to positive plate. Both will mean the same thing, right? Either I take the work done in taking an electron from positive plate to negative plate is equal to the work done in taking a positive charge from negative plate to positive plate, right? So this is how this work done is basically stored as electrostatic energy in capacitor. So please understand this. So this energy is stored as electrostatic energy in case of a capacitor, right? So how do we know, when does this energy get stored? The energy is basically stored during charging. When the capacitor gets charged, that is, it is connected to a voltage source, the voltage source will supply some amount of charge to the capacitor and the capacitor will get charged. So during this charging phase, the capacitor will store the electrostatic energy in itself. Now when it gets charged, it has electrostatic energy with it. Now when again during discharging it has to supply energy, then it will deliver the same energy in the form of power to the circuit. So there is no dissipation of energy as such, there is no energy lost as such. Whatever energy the capacitor gains during charging, it stores with it, and again it delivers the same energy in the form of power to the entire circuit. So that is all about the electrostatic energy stored in a capacitor. Now how do we calculate the electrostatic energy stored in a capacitor? So for that we need to have a mathematical expression. So now let us concentrate on that expression. Now a capacitor always gets charged gradually. So Since it gets charged gradually, let us assume that at any stage of charging, let us say that the charge on the capacitor is equal to Q. So what would be the potential on the capacitor? Potential, let us denote it by V. That will be equal to Q divided by C, where C is the capacitance. Now let us suppose there is a small amount of work done, say, which is denoted by dW, in giving an additional charge dq. That means in giving additional charge dq to the capacitor. During charging, the voltage source is supplying charges to the capacitor, right? And those charges are then getting carried from one plate to another. So let us suppose in giving charge dq, the amount of work which is done is dw. Okay, so how will you write dw? What can we write dw? dw is nothing but dq into the potential, right? That is how we define work done. Work done is nothing but, you remember I told you in our previous lesson on electrostatic potential that work done is nothing but the potential difference between 2 points. So work done per unit charge is defined as potential, right? So work done will be equal to the charge into the electrostatic potential. So now this potential V can be written as Q by C. Therefore, the total work done will be equal to integration of dW, that is integration of Q by C into dQ. So this will be equal to 1 by C integration of Q dQ, where Q varies from 0 to capital Q, where capital Q is the total charge on the capacitor plate. So this becomes 1 by C Q square by 2 from 0 to Q. So this becomes 1 by C Q square by 2. Therefore, the energy which is stored in the capacitor, this work done is nothing but it is stored as electrostatic energy, which is denoted by U. So this U is equal to 1 by 2 Q square by C. Now you can write the expression for electrostatic energy in terms of QC, in terms of QV, in terms of CV, because they are all related to each other. So this is the expression for electrostatic energy in a capacitor. Now since we know that Q is equal to C into V, so you can also replace Q with CV. So you will get it as half into CV square. So they are all different forms of expressing the same thing. So did you understand the concept of energy which is stored in capacitor? Okay. Now let us talk about energy density. So once you have understood what is the energy stored in a capacitor, energy density is quite simple. It is nothing but energy stored per unit volume of space. So energy density is generally denoted by small u. Energy, we denote energy with capital U and energy density with small u. So we will find out an expression for energy density. Energy density U is energy stored per unit volume. So what is energy stored is capital U, and volume is nothing but area of the plates into the distance between them, because energy is stored in the electric field region, right? These are the two plates of the capacitor. Here you have electric field. So the energy is basically stored in this region, right? So what would be the volume of this region? You consider the plates of the capacitor multiplied by the distance between them. So this U is nothing but half CV square, this into 1 by A into D. Now we also know that capacitance for a parallel plate capacitor is given by A epsilon naught by D into V square into 1 by A into D. So A and A will get cancelled. So you get half epsilon naught V by D whole square, right? This D and this D. Now what is V by D? You remember gradient of potential is nothing but electric field. So this is E square. Therefore energy density U is given by half epsilon naught E square. So this is all about the energy which is stored in a capacitor. Now we will again look at some problems based on this energy stored in a capacitor. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.